This year, the commemoration is being observed under the theme, Our Time is Now, Our Rights, Our Future. Today also marks the 10th anniversary of this celebration. On December 19th, 2011, the United Nations General Assembly adopted Resolution 55-190 to declare October 11th as the International Day of the Girl Child. This declaration was used to help not only with the everyday issues that girls face, but also address other significant issues such as inequalities, early and child marriages, none and limited access to education or health services. Today, we reiterate the statement of the UN Agenda for Sustainable Development, which reads, quote, "If effectively supported during the adolescent years, girls have the potential to change the world," end quote. This remains true, and despite some advancement, the girl child still has ways to go to ascend to her rightful and equitable place. Today, we welcome to Good Morning SKN Kassandra Bedford, a gender field officer in the Department of Gender Affairs, to share with us the importance of the girl child. Good morning, Kassandra, and welcome back to GMSKN.
Thank you.
All right, so we know it's the 10th anniversary of the International Day of the Girl Child. What are some of the activities that are being held to commemorate this day here in St. Kitts and Nevis?
Okay, so what we have celebrating is we have decided to award one girl from each primary school based on the criteria of showing respect, exemplary attitude, discipline, and also participation in an extracurricular activity. So from yesterday, Monday 10th, to next week, Monday the 17th, we will be distributing the awards to the young ladies. We have chosen women who would have made some form of contribution to the nation or to the school to present the award to the awardee. So yesterday we awarded Faith Francis of Newton Ground Primary, so we have some more coming up this week and a few next week.
So how were these young girls chosen?
They are chosen based on the criteria and by their guidance counselors, by the principals. So they would, they would know what their children are engaged in. So I guess if you couple up 5, then you choose which one would be the best fit for the award.
All right, just curious again. So the reason for the award long term would be, of course, to ensure that those behaviors continue.
Yes. Okay. And this would have been the first time that we did something for the International Day of the Girl Child. So we actually modeled what my coworker Mr. Brown did for the Day of the Boy Child. So this is our first annual, so we're hoping we'll be able to do it and again next year and even more for the girls throughout the month.
Do you think the behavior of the girl child is at risk here in St. Kitts?
Well, it depends on how we term at risk. I don't think we have as much challenges as what some countries face, but I still think that we, have a long way to go in terms of investment in our girls, supporting our girls, encouraging them to get there, to live their fullest potential as well.
All right, so from the ministry's standpoint, let's talk a little bit about the programs that are in place to cater to girl children.
Okay, so we have adolescent girls, but we don't have any for girl children. So I hope that is not a bad thing. But what we do have is at-risk girls. So if in the event that there are maybe certain issues and a girl can be enrolled in the program, then hopefully we have that service for them. But we don't have any particular to, primary school children.
How important do you think the girl child is in the family?
Very important. Very, very important. I think it begins with, everything begins at home, so I think it starts there. It then stems out to encouraging the girls to be truly who they are. They have challenges, yes, but I think it's very important to love them, to support them, to still encourage them. And I think even apart from the younger children, you can see in the older ones, which would be the adolescent ones, that they didn't have much. So I think even as we focus on the Day of the Girl Child and, the encouragement, the support, them learning their voices, that as a community, we can do a lot more in terms of making them feel welcome, the whole close-knit community kind of thing, and to continue supporting them in ways that they can be encouraged, anything positive to assist them. So it starts at home, so, it builds from the infant to the child and then the adolescence, and then as a young woman, then you have as an adult.
I want to focus a little bit on the goal number 4 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which speaks to universal access to primary education. Obviously, we've satisfied that.
Yes.
What can you tell us, if anything, that's being done to continue to achieve lifelong learning?
Okay, I have have to repeat that and then think about it again.
That's fine. Lifelong learning. So I'm asking, what is being set in place? What isn't in place to achieve lifelong learning? So we've got primary education for girls, but we want to ensure, I imagine, that we can follow on with that. Exactly.
Okay, so we're talking about stemming from primary school to secondary and ensuring that they continue over. Okay, I don't think we have those challenges as yet. As far as I know, most of the children continue over. However, when they are in the secondary level, it depending on what their challenges are, you might have a child that maybe can't come to school for a specific reason. So then when it's identified to the ministry, then we step in to see how we can help, because it is a right that they have, as well as to encourage them as well, because in the end they will need it. So we do what we can to provide the tools and the services that they need to go to school, and also to strive to be their best, strive to perform in the way that they would like to perform, as well as extend services if needed, be in the home as well.
You mentioned for whatever reason they may not be able to go to school. Do you know of any other factors that prevent the girl child from going to school?
You talking primary or adolescent?
Any, I would say at any stage. What can prevent them other than?
I haven't had much recently. The teen mothers that I would have had, when they don't attend school, it would be maybe challenges in terms of financially to be able to catch bus, or maybe they don't have anything at home to eat, so there will be those sorts of issues. But we haven't had those for a few years now. But every household, every situation has its own challenges. But whatever it may, as long as the school identifies it and it's brought to our attention, we see how best we can help, not only for that moment, but a long-term process, so we don't start and then it stops because it's not being sustained or maintained.
So for the mothers that are the teenage moms, how does government step in to assist them in terms of daycare? As you said, they might need money for buses. Is there a little stipend that they give them?
We are not on the verge of a stipend, but we usually assist with daycare services. In the event that they are unable to locate a daycare or get a daycare for when they're ready to return to school, then we step in to see if they can assist. Sometimes what we have is that they leave maybe an extra space for 1 or 2. So we assist them in that regard. They're able to receive food voucher that would be able to assist the family if they have identified that that is the issue. In regards to maybe CXC payments, in the past, we would have assisted with that, but I think now there's something in place that the children can fill out a form, carry to their parents, and I think based on a certain level, the government pays or assist them. So in that CXC regard, that's covered. If there's anything else, then we try best to see if we don't have the services, then how we can help, and then ensure that it's maintained and they have everything they need to continue to get where they need to go.
All right, so in speaking to the all of society approach, the community approach, this day is clearly important.
Yes.
What we did not ask you is how important it is to you.
Very important. Very, very important. It, in my line of work, it kind of depresses you that we're not a community that's as close-knit, because you can see where children needs the assistance, you can see where they need the support. And for those who maybe for whatever reason can't get it, you see where they stray. And most of the time, like you say, it starts at home. So if you would have had where, for example, a mother leaves to go to work and for whatever reason the neighbor sees that the child is home, you could have before said, well, when you go to work, your daughter is home and whatever the case may be, but no, you can't, because, the responses that you will get. But if you encourage that behavior, then it leads to probably ending up in my program or in the system based on how far it stemmed, because the mother will have no idea of what is going on, what somebody sees, what nobody says. So if you can basically nip it in the bud as early as possible, that would be great. And the community approach would really help, because there are some persons that, they're home, they see as well. And there are some older persons who just, consider other persons as their children, because they as well have children, or they care, or they have a love for children, so they don't want to see children go down the wrong road. But we can no longer, basically what we say, look into nobody else's house. So we kind of must stem to ourselves, but it's a community approach would be a very good thing for us. I'm hoping one day we can get back to that. I'm really hoping. I did not grow up in that, but I had older parents, so I know the benefits of that. I didn't grow up around my grandparents either, but I still wish that I could, even though I still, walked a good enough road. But I think even information, knowledge from the grandparents would be helpful, experiences from them would be helpful. It teaches you about morals and values. And with mothers who are now working, they're busy, they have, many children, many responsibilities to take care of. It kind of limits the time that they can now spend to assist the child, to advise them, to look after them.
How can the community and we, how should I say, motivate the girl child to attain all or at least most of their goals?
Ooh, that's a difficult one to answer. Based on the fact that I don't think it's the fact that community lacks, it's there, but I think it's the approach that you get when you approach a child. So it would be difficult because even if you want to maybe encourage a child based on the feedback that you might get or the response, you don't know if you should. So you find where it's a standoff approach. So it would be a strategy of how can we now restructure in terms of getting the society to come forward a bit, as well as to get the parents to, so it's to come halfway. That would be the approach for that, because I'm sure you can tell a child if you're walking along the side of the road, have a good day, you look beautiful today. But some of the responses, well, from these children might be, well, I know, but yeah, I like that, but the encouragement goes a long way. So
exactly.
it's still kind of iffy, like, do you do it? And then some of us think as far as, well, what if I get this response? But some people don't mind because at least they know at the end of the day I would have encouraged one person.
Yes.
So it's a bit tricky, but I think we can get there. We just need to find a right strategy to be able to get it how it could be. But yeah, I think we have to work on that.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, we talked about mental health yesterday, and the question that I have for you now concerns, the possibility of there being joint programs between your ministry and other ministries concerning mental health in relation to girls. For instance, we know that everyone, but girls specifically, battle with body image issues, peer pressure, maybe even bullying. So, what can you tell us about any joint programs or any programs that you're a part of that perhaps would address these things?
We actually would have the sessions that we were hoping to have since May that we were not able to have would have covered all of those issues. We were looking at everything that a child does not receive at home to be able to give them that knowledge as well as that open space. I have reached out to Ms. Tracy Watley, guidance counselor at Kayan High. She told me that she has this program, and I told her that would be a good thing for the girls. So we're hoping that when we do get funding, we can restructure it so that it wouldn't be a one-off thing, but an occasional thing. The sessions that they usually have would include, self-esteem, body image, to get someone, maybe a nurse practitioner, to come and speak to them about it, have it in a session where they are free to ask questions, free to feel how they should be, because I think, at home, you're hiding, there's no one to speak to in the way that you would like to, so we try to do in every session that we have to create a safe space for them, provide, knowledge that they would need, as well as the ability to ask certain questions. And if you may not want to ask a question up front, I'm hoping to have like a little drop box so you can drop your question in and we address it in a session or whatever. So your question is here. It's still being answered.
Are the parents of these girls that I mentor, are they also trained or informed of their behaviors, and maybe is there any way that the counselors can find out if it stems from the parents' background as well, that they don't give maybe what the girls need?
I think the guidance counselors are aware that's how they would have been chosen.
Okay.
So what we are trying to do is by providing them with the sessions, we actually work with the homes. So we are hoping that we can have session with the parents, to inform them, to educate them, because, I think education is good, information, knowledge is good, but as well as, let's say, providing them with the tools of how to reach out to the child. So if the child maybe have an issue but she doesn't know how to come to her mother or her father to talk about it, we kind of try to encourage the space that they can, maybe help them to try different approaches based on their situations. We are hoping that maybe we can even do it based on a family approach if there's a need of maybe a family counselor if there's a particular issue that stems. We are looking also at trying to break generational curses, but at the end of the day, it begins with the honesty, knowing that these are the behaviors that you have, tracking back the behaviors that, okay, this child has it, it would have stemmed from the mother, or maybe the father, and then the grandparents. So how do we stop it? But I think it starts with being honest and then saying, okay, it has to stop here, and then getting the help for you to be able to work, because it's not an one-off approach. You can't just stop now, but it takes time. So it begins with the honesty and being open and able that someone can help you and wanting it to stop as well as wanting better for yourself. So I think most of them, they do want better, but it's too, I don't think we dive so much into understanding, and then that's also to a part of mental health, being aware of behaviors that you have, maybe certain things that you do, and then how to get better as well. So it's like a holistic approach. There's a mental health session that we would have included in the curriculum. I did a little mini curriculum in terms of what we would like to do, what's the outcome, how would we measure it. So we would have had that, and we're hoping that we can do different sessions with counselors, topics that they would like to talk about, even as well that falls along with the whatever mental health issues, that they can have those answers, because they too are going through things, we all are. But I think it would be good that they actually hear their voice, they have the space to hear their voice, so that they can become healthier mentally. Because I believe once we are healthier mentally, then it's a step, it's a start.
Yes.
So we're hoping that we can do a lot more. Of course, we would need sponsorship, so I'm hoping that someone sees this and will be willing to sponsor me and my program.
Yes, you heard it
and
first.
assist our young girls, and we can go from there.
So assistance is required to go to, what is the name of your foundation?
It's the Girls Platform, which caters to Project Viola Teen Mothers Program, and GEMS, Girls Empowerment Movement and Sisterhood, which is the at-risk girls program.